From its pristine 18-hole course layout to its amazing pro shop, Jason Linhart and the staff at Ocala Golf offer everything that you need for your golf outing. That's the Ocala Golf Club. Experience country club style golf at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917.
Think you know Dex Imaging? Think again. In the office, streamlining communications. In the field, delivering top-notch service, enhancing productivity and reducing downtime. In the data center, a part of the growing digital document revolution. In the world of business, supporting entrepreneurs and helping companies grow. In the forefront of technology, developing cutting-edge document management solutions. So if you think you know Dex Imaging, you don't know Dex.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY, only $4.99. Plus, DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Hello, I'm Mark Sears with Regency Printing. With over 10 years in the printing business, I know you'll find Regency Printing the place for all your local printing needs. Plus, I have fax services, mailbox rentals, notary service, U.S. mail, pack and ship, all at one convenient location, 2375 Northeast 25th Avenue. Just look for the yellow signs. Regency Printing, 789-6683. That's 789-6683. Regency Printing.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. On a Wednesday, the State of the Union was last night. And found some things that were strange. Joe Manchin sitting with the Republicans I thought was a little strange. I see no reason for the Republican response. To me, that reminds me of the NFL's Pro Bowl. It's just touch football. The response, I mean, it's never going to be something anybody cares about. But something else I found strange last night is the Squad made a show last night. As Representative Rashida Tlaib, Democrat from Michigan, she had a response to President Joe Biden's State of the Union address as well. She pointed out that the Build Back Better agenda is stalled. Our work is unfinished. We need to jumpstart that work again. She was speaking on behalf, according to her, even though she's a Democrat, she was speaking on the behalf of the independent political party. She says they want to do more, but roads and bridges are critical, but so are child care and prescription drugs. We shouldn't have to choose. Let's pass the Paycheck Fairness Act and paid leave. The president said that. She said that we need to do a little more than that. It's not unprecedented for a member of the president's party to address the nation after a State of the Union, but it's highly unusual. And it just communicated to me that the progressives don't share Biden's vision. Here we are at the start of the midterm elections, and they're worried that they need to get their message out. Adam Hilton, who's an assistant professor of politics at Mount Holyoke College, who studies the Democratic Party, said the progressive far-left response to Biden is one way for that group to put pressure on the policies of the Democratic base. He said he thinks it's the progressives' way of signaling, easy for me to say, he thinks it's the progressives' way of signaling that this is where, if not the majority of the party is, it's where one of the strongest elements driving the party is. You know, things like the New Green Deal, the Green New Deal, minimum wage at $15, Medicare for all, student loan cancellation. Those are things that remain popular among the progressives of the Democratic Party and the people that vote that way. Tlaib's response to Biden's highlights the growing tension among the liberal and moderate factions of the party since the 2020 presidential election. Progressives, you know, have voiced criticism, especially of Joe Manchin, Senator Kristen Sinema of Arizona, because they blocked legislation in the Senate. They said, we sent legislative packages to the Senate that I thought were significant and fundamentally dealt with the issues from everything from poverty to voting rights to democracy to climate change, and they're stalled. Biden even barely made any mention of that legislation during his address Tuesday night. But Tlaib and her group say that our hope is there's still time for Congress to act. Our hope is that folks in the Senate, including Senator Manchin, take seriously the fact that the planks of Build Back Better are very, very popular, including in West Virginia. Progressive Democrats continued to say Tuesday night they want to go farther with social and climate change. Give them an inch, they'll take a mile. My grandma used to tell me that. My mama used to tell me that. Take an inch, they'll want a mile. Well, I just find it strange that Joe Biden's the leader of your party, and yet you found it necessary as a member of the squad to come out and tell Joe he wasn't doing a good enough job. Thanks. Thanks for pointing out that what you consider as a good enough job is far left. So that people in the independent area and in the middle can be reminded so that during the midterms they'll vote to stop. Because, by the way, the thought process of the far left or the far right, and I'm talking about the fringe because the squad is out on the fringe. The fringe, far left and far right, both whack jobs in my opinion. We have some people in this county that are part of the Republican Party that are far, 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 far right. Whack jobs. One of the far right here in this county believes that they have a part-time job, and if they don't have a part-time job, they need a driver and a assistant. Whack job. So, but it was just strange to me last night that the far left progressive part of the Democratic Party had to come out and say the president didn't say enough. He's the leader of your party. I don't understand the rift. But keep it up. That helps the country, in my opinion, come back to where it needs to be. Away from the far left agenda. Look, I wouldn't be happy with them going to for the far right agenda either. You get way out there past the Tea Party, I ain't got time for that either. And yes, I've had people tell me, you're a rhino. Not to my face. But I'm not. I'm conservative, fiscally conservative. But I understand socially you have to make some concessions. Not a lot of concessions, but some. To help your fellow man or woman or American citizen. You know, I understand that the welfare system is needed. But I also think everybody that gets a welfare check should have to pass a drug test. That's not a liberal view. But I know that because it's so ingrained in our society, you can't just scrap the welfare system. That's the problem with government. Once it's there, it's almost impossible to get rid of. But when the far left comes out like they did last night and points out what they didn't like about what the president said, his own party, pointing out what they didn't like about it, thanks. The midterm thanks you. Because that will help get you losing the House and the Senate, in my opinion. So the midterm thanks you. Hey, when we come back, I came across this article that talks about Hollywood and some of the things that Hollywood have perpetrated that we think that, you know, things that Hollywood have tricked the general population into believing can actually happen. We'll talk about those next as we get ready to talk to the good folks from Go Green CBD Store. That's coming up real soon here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
With crime in America skyrocketing, President Biden broke from the Democrat stance of defunding the police to now wanting to fund the police in the State of the Union address Tuesday night. GOP Governor Kim Reynolds from Iowa tells Americans the party in power is to blame for our current inflictions.
The president and Democrats in Congress have spent the last year either ignoring the issues facing Americans or making them worse. They were warned that spending trillions would lead to soaring inflation. They were told that their anti-energy policies would send gas prices to new heights. But they plowed ahead anyway.
In the 2022 Texas primary election, Governor Greg Abbott declared his victory in the primary.
So I'm running for re-election to bolster a parental bill of rights that will restore parents as the